To the I-Team now. 30 years after they helped derail a big housing development in Gwinnett County, another mysterious series of rock mounds is again creating some controversy.
This time also involves a rezoning project in that same area of northeast Gwinnett. The developer insists these mounds hold no historical significance, and a prominent archaeologist agrees.
But Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis talked to others who say that opinion is premature. Randy?
Russ and Courtney, as the old saying goes, history never repeats itself, but it often rhymes. The rock mounds you're about to see are certainly part of history, but are they historic enough to affect yet another Gwinnett County development? How many have you counted?
Gosh, over 100.
Not just in the area behind Lindsay Paul's property. She's documented rock mounds scattered throughout the 519 acres adjacent to her neighborhood. Land that a developer wants denser zoning to build 1,382 townhouses and single-family homes. A project called Poole Mountain.
I can count at least a dozen right out here.
Right, and then they're here, and they're just beautiful.
In this rezoning application, the developer, St. Burke, promised there were no cemeteries or architectural or archaeological landmarks on the property. An unambiguous statement that appears still open for debate.
These rock mounds are filled with mystery. No one knows how they got here or even who put them here. But it's clear they are an archaeological landmark, because they're the reason why I'm actually standing in Little Mulberry Park.
Mineral Springs Road separates the park from the proposed development. In the mid-1990s, a developer wanted to build a subdivision here. Commissioners even approved the plans. But those rocks turned out to be a formidable foe. Protesters rallied to protect what they called their Native American heritage. The developer eventually sold the land to Gwinnett County, which years later created the 890-acre passive park called Little Mulberry. No remains or artifacts have ever been found, but this marker says the stone structures are almost certainly associated with Native American cultures. So how could other rock mounds a mile away not also be archaeologically significant?
To say in a map or in a statement that there's nothing is omission or incompetence, I don't know, but it's overlooking important information.
Dr. Yanni Lobser is an expert in Native American rock formations. He recently advised a Jackson County neighborhood on how best to preserve rock mounds there. Lobser examined some of the piles scattered behind Lindsay Paul's home.
From my just quick observation, it looked like there could be a combination of both more recent stuff and and older stuff, what we call pre-contact.
Pre-contact, before Europeans moved here. But experts can disagree, and often do. Archaeologist Steve Webb conducted 3 separate studies here over the years on behalf of the landowner, including once in 2015 for current developer St. Burke. His research found only 16 archaeological sites, none historically significant. Webb's conclusion? No evidence of any Native American activity. The rock piles likely formed by farmers clearing their land to grow crops, or for construction projects like small dams. Lobser still thinks the rocks appear to match what are already protected at Little Mulberry.
They're very similar, and one would think that at least some of them are important. Some of them might cover human remains.
Webb was unavailable to speak on camera, but in response to written questions from the Fox 5 I-Team, said he doesn't believe the stacked stones at Little Mulberry are of Native American origin either. He said multiple shovel tests around the other rock sites at Poole Mountain proved they're from the 19th century, some likely used to provide a supply of rocks for erosion control after farming.
That particular area, I very much doubt that people did agriculture because of the thin soils.
Meanwhile, some homeowners are already fighting stormwater runoff from the Poole Mountain project.
If you notice the sediment that's in it.
When workers cut a road through here to get equipment in for soil sampling, water and silt rushed directly toward Paul's home. Gwinnett County issued a stop work order and cited the developer. In a statement, St. Burke said it had already addressed the violations. But some parts of history, historic or not, can't be repaired.
Is this a rock pile? Is this a rock mound?
I am very concerned.
The Poole Mountain property is already zoned to build 1,066 homes. The developer is asking for rezoning to add another 316 homes to that. But again, no work has been done yet.
So what's the official position of Gwinnett County? I mean, it would seem to matter whether or not this was for farming or whether there was some ritual significance.
Yeah, you'd hope that the county would take a position. I asked several times, they would not take one. So perhaps that's something that they'll decide later on once the rezoning officially gets before the county commission. But what is clear, Russ and Courtney, is that not all archaeologists are in agreement either way, right?
Right.
But the developer did say this in his application: no archaeological landmarks on the property. That's what they said to the county. So we're going to have to wait to see whether that is indeed the final word.
Yeah, kind of a complicated issue when you have experts who are disagreeing with each other on what the significance of these rock formations actually is.
And all believe that they're correct.
Yeah. All right. I know you'll keep us updated, Randy. Thanks.
Thanks, Randy.